Hi everyone. So I've been on hiatus from this for a really long time. My camera is like not center at all. Pardon the mess. I have clothes everywhere, as always. So I've been on hiatus from this for a very long time. I didn't feel like trying to upload anything for a while. I was gonna wait a little bit longer just to try to refocus on things and try to like change how I wanted to do this channel, because the way I was doing it, the way I was doing it, I didn't like it. So I wanted to try to change everything around and to decide what direction I wanted to go. But tonight, I'm just feeling really, really sad and just kind of down and just unmotivated and just. Ugh. So, one of the things I wanted to talk about right now is how you can try to prevent yourself from getting into that state of mind, because I have a big problem with that. So, ever since I was younger, I need to fix my damn hair. This is freaking a mess. I've always had a problem with thinking negatively. I've always had a problem with complaining. I've always had a problem with being just outright like, oh, this is going wrong for me right now. This is going wrong for me right now. And I've let those negative feelings kind of like assume my entire life. And it's taken me a long time to stop myself, to recognize when I'm getting like that, and to tell myself, no, you need to not think like that. You need to take a second and just breathe and just realize that you've gotten through everything you've ever had to deal with your entire life. You'll get through this as well. That's one of the things I wanted to talk about is sometimes when you're in that moment, when you're in that state of mind, all you're thinking about is the fact that this problem is occurring. And you're just so, and as soon as you start thinking about that problem, you start thinking like, oh, well, since this is going on, this is going to affect this part of my life. This is going to affect this part of my life. And then since you're already focusing on that, your brain just takes that problem that you're focusing on and then branches it up to other areas of your life, which is pretty much what I allowed to happen in my life tonight. I also have the tendency to get very depressed, to get to the point where I'm just like, I don't want to deal with life right now. I just want to go to sleep and not worry about what's happening. One good thing you can do to avoid that from happening is, like I said, you've gotten past everything else in your life. At some point or another, there was a problem that you were going through, and at that point of time, you thought you were never going to get through it, and you did. That's one thing that helps me, is I look at everything I've gone through in the past. I've gone through the entire time from when I was a kid, from when I was a teenager, from when I was an adult, from the last couple months, the last 3 years. I look at everything I've gone through, and I focus on that. That's one really good way to stop yourself from taking a negative event and blowing it out of proportion. So that's what I started doing, and I was like, you know what, now I'm just going to focus on what I want to do. I'm going to focus on my goals. I'm going to focus on my dreams. I'm going to focus on that, because one setback is not going to stop it. That's one thing you can also do, is one problem that arises should not stop you or prevent you from focusing on the other things that you can be working on. So, my dog's whining at the door. So once I stopped and I made myself breathe and made myself refocus, I thought about what I want to be doing. I thought about what my goals are. And one of my goals is I wanted to do YouTube. I wanted to create an environment where I know there's people who have gone through the same exact things I have gone through. I know people who have the same exact problems that I have, so I wanted to have some kind of outlet they can look at and see if this person has gone through this as well. So I thought about that. I was like, okay, well, let me just focus on that. I also thought about writing. I have school. I want to get more involved in music and stuff like that. So what I think is when you start allowing yourself to doubt, that's just going to put you in that mindset where you're not going to be able to reach your goals, you're not going to be able to continue, and then you won't. Once you start thinking that, you're not going to, because you're going to automatically make yourself unmotivated, and you're also going to prevent yourself from working on the skills and traits that you need to work on. Just my little thoughts. So this is a short video. I'm trying to make these shorter than I have been. But hopefully I will get back on track with making these. I still am trying to work out how I want to do them. But as of right now, this is just a little short video I wanted to make, just kind of venting about how I've been feeling tonight. Alright, guys, have a good night.